Alright guys, here we are on the lake I cut my teeth on, man. Lake DeGray in south central Arkansas. You know, very first bass I ever caught in my life I probably caught right here. You know, I can remember fishing this place when I was 2-3 years old. You know, this was where I learned to fish, this lake. My mom and dad still live in the same place, a mile and a half from the boat ramp we launched at this morning. So every afternoon I'd get off the school bus, or my mom would come pick me up, she'd rush me down to the boat ramp. I'd hop in the boat with my dad, and we'd take off fishing out here for a couple hours in the afternoon. This is the same, everything looks the same as it did when I was 4 or 5 years old. But man, it's had its up and downs. When I was a kid, this place was so awesome. Went through about a 5 to an 8 year period there. Fish died out, kind of come back, then our grass died. Killed a lot of fish, you know, they had some bad spawns, and last 4 or 5 years, this lake's really started coming back, getting quality fish in it. And this place has just always had a, you know, it will. It's the most special place in my heart, because this is the lake that gave me the passion, that fueled me to get to where I'm at in my career now. And this is one of my favorite times of the year to be down here on DeGray. It's late October, beautiful day today. It's probably upper 60s this morning, low 70s. We've had a couple cold snaps already. The water's dropped down to 68 to 70 degrees now. DeGray's got a lot of grass in it again now, so there's a lot of matted hydrilla. There's some coontail in some areas, but this lake has just gotten the grass back in it in the last 2 to 3 years good. So a lot of these fish are still not really used to it. And so they still tend to get way out on the end of these points, suspend, follow bait around, and there's nothing better than the little 3D RX pencil and the mid-size pencil. And I get out over these points, I use my live scope, I find these fish suspended out over these break lines, out over brush piles, out over trees, and I throw this top water to them, and I work it really fast, and the whole school, I'll get the whole school activated and they'll come up and get it. Today is bright bluebird sunny, which is the best day to do this for me. Very light chop on the water, no wind at all, not supposed to have much today, but a lot of these fish should be roaming out with these bait balls, should be able to catch them out over these points, outside edge of grass lines and brush piles, throwing this top water. If that don't work, we will probably pull in and start flipping some grass. Get out the big stick, 65-pound Yo-Zuri Super Braid, 1.5 ounce big arc tungsten weight, big owner jungle flipping hook, and we'll go to punching some of this grass, and we'll see if we can't catch some doing that. But other than that, we're gonna get out here, we're gonna see what we can put together. Should be a good day on Lake DeGray, and we'll see you guys here in a minute. So we just pulled up here to one of our first spots. This is an underwater hump. It runs off of a long extended point coming off the bank up there, and then the point runs out and it kind of drops off, creates a saddle in about 30 foot of water, and then it comes back up out here on the very tip, creates kind of a little hump. This hump here is about twice the size of a basketball court, and it's got a couple brush piles on it. DeGray right now is about 8 to 10 foot low. That makes these brush piles, it puts them, you know, when we build these brush piles in the spring or winter, when the lake's full, or in the summertime when the lake's full, we want to put these brush piles in about 20 to 25 foot of water, because that's where the thermocline sets up in the summer. Usually in June, the thermocline starts to set up when we get a lot of hot weather, and they start pulling water a lot, generating for current to create electricity and stuff. It creates a thermocline down about 25, 28 foot deep on our lake. So we want to build them brush piles where they're about 4 or 5 foot shallower than that thermocline, because the bass won't get any deeper than the thermocline. That's where the water changes temperatures big time, drastically, from like 74, 75 degrees to in the 50s. And so these fish will sit inside this thermocline. That's where we want our brush piles, so they got cover to hold on. When this lake drops like it is right now, it puts these brush piles in about 15 to 18 foot of water, which creates a lot less separation between the top of the brush and the surface of the water, and you're able to call them up with the Yo-Zuri pencil a lot better over these brush piles. They group up big time in the fall, guys. This is when they group up the best, in my opinion, and there is no better way than screaming a Yo-Zuri pencil over the top of these schools and catching them right here at the boat. And that thing is gone. That one there, they come up busting. Anytime you get them on top, the 3D RX 75 is the way to go. Look at them way out there. I threw just a tad bit short of the big wad of them. I'm gonna tie that weight bait on here in just a second. Try it, because it could be the deal, honestly. All right, let me get that weight bait on. Well, I pulled out on 2 or 3 places already. There's lots of bass out here over these falls, just like I was talking about. But we got a pretty good chop on the water right here in this area, and they don't want to commit to coming all the way to the surface. So I'm gonna try this weight bait, and it's subsurface. It's got a lot of drawing power, and this here is Go Sexy Shad, and see if we can't get them to come up and eat that. Just reeling it right under the surface. This is another incredible bait this time of year, reeling it over these same places. And let's see if they'll commit to this since it's subsurface. Missed it. Gosh, that got that one. Good one. There we go. Oh, she choked that thing too. So we had to make a little switch here. I'm throwing the top water. As you can see, we got a little chop on the water. A pretty good chop. So I went to the subsurface weight bait, new weight bait, the Yo-Zuri. Just kind of, you can tell that one, I mean, she just got a little prop on the back, makes a lot of surface disturbance. And that right there is an awesome weight bait. That's the 3DB weight prop, and that one right there is by far one of my favorites when I'm struggling to get them to come up on top water. That's the 85. When I'm struggling to get them to come up on the pencil, I pick that up. That's a solid 2.5 pound largemouth, beautiful fish. There was probably 40 of them in that group. So that's the way it is this time of year. You get out here and there'll be big schools of them swimming around, and then we're close up to the surface, about 5 to 8 foot down, reel that top water over them, and they were fighting over that thing. Right along the outside edge of the grass, I pulled out there on some brush piles, and a couple of the brush piles I went to's got them, big time, big schools of them. But they're down a little deeper, and I can't quite get them to commit to anything near the surface. So I pulled up around the outside edge of the grass. As you can see, real short grass, 2 to 3 foot deep, or 2 to 3 foot tall. You can see bass, 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's several of them sitting around out here on this over the top. See, look at all them bass out there. Just bass everywhere, probably 30 or 40 of them right there in that one area. And what I'm doing, I'm using this 3DB prop bait, and I'm throwing out over the top of them fish like that. And you've got to get the whole school to come to it. One never works. If it's just one, it'll rarely ever will they ever bite it. But if the whole school comes, it's a done deal. Like you can see all them fish following it. See, there's 2 right there on it, there's 1 right there on it. Look at them all coming up under it. But it's just a couple fish. You can't ever get the singles like that to bite it usually. It's got to be a bunch. And so I'll make multiple casts out there over them, trying to get them to come up. And you can see my bait coming along the surface on this. My bait's right there right now. And you can see it skimming right under the surface. And you see every time I come over a fish, how she kind of perks up, you know, they seeing it, but they're not wanting to come all the way up to it, because I've already caught the one out at school and I just lost a good one out of it. So what I do is I just cover a lot of water. I'll move on to another point, and I'll keep this one in the back of my head, knowing that there's a good group of fish here. I may come back here sometime throughout the day, maybe 30 minutes from now, maybe 3 hours from now. Usually I'll wait closer to a couple hours, because it takes them a while to kind of forget about everything and get set back up and get to where they're willing to come back up on your bait again. So we're going to skip over to this next point right here across from us and see if we can't duplicate it there. I think we're kind of getting on something with that weight bait. Here comes a couple good ones. Got him. I hate that thing good. Switch to the 105. It's gotten slick And these fish have gotten down just a little deeper in the water column. So I've went to this bigger 3DB prop to try and draw a little bit more attention from them. And you know, it's one of the first spots I've pulled up on and throw this on, and instantly first cast out there, got one come right up to it. This fish was probably sitting in about 17 to 18 foot of water where she was before she came out and bit it. Man, them Yo-Zuri hooks get them so good. But not a big one. I mean, that's right at a 2-pounder, but beautiful Lake DeGray largemouth. Man, I've caught thousands of them over the years. You know, it just takes me back. Down here, here we are, 35 years old, and you know, 30 years ago I was catching bass out of this place. So it's cool, you know, to come down here on a place and shoot a video on a lake that I cut my teeth on, you know, and doing it with one of my favorite baits. Ah, I missed it. God, oh, I missed it again. Comes another one. Ooh, look at them right there, all under it. Here they come. Yep, done deal. Little spotted bass. Golly, look at all of them with him. Little spotted bass. All them big ones down there. I think it's probably the smallest one in that group. So I'm throwing this prop weight on a 7-1 medium heavy arc reinforcer using an arc gravity G8 reel, 7-to-1 gear ratio. Throwing this on Yo-Zuri T7 100% fluorocarbon 16-pound test. And you know, I don't change out any of the hardware that comes on the Yo-Zuri products. They legit their product, and the hardware they use on their stuff is already, I mean, just superb. I don't have to change anything out on it. The hooks are great, split rings, high quality components on it. And you know, it's my setup. I like throwing this bait on fluorocarbon. It's a subsurface bait, so the fluorocarbon doesn't affect it. And that's the setup I use for the weight bait. Got a school of them right here, about to be right. They were coming in, but they waited till it's too late. This cast should be money. Here comes one. Got her. Look at all of them with her. Spotted bass, got us a spot. I'm just saying, I don't know where all the spots are. They haven't really showed up. We've caught 2 or 3 of them today, but they, man, this lake's loaded with spotted bass, and pretty big ones too. Caught a lot of 3-pounders out of here. That's a little 1.25 pound, 1.5-pounder. But man, they're so pretty, and spotted bass. Just another shad eater. We're out here on a point, one of these long extended points. It's got a brush pile on it. And look at all these bass out here. Throw this 3DB weight prop out there over them. Watch them start coming up to it once they see it. Here they come. There she is, just like that. Look at them all with her. That's what you're looking for out here this time of year, is them big schools like that, over the top of a brush pile, over the top of some grass, and that's where your big numbers of bass will be. And look at all of them still out there just begging for some more weight prop. Get us another one right there real quick. You see my bait right there at 80, right there at 80. It's just coming on the fish. Here they all come. There she is. That's a spotted bass. Man, that's fun. That is fun. Typically, these fish always come all the way to the boat with the fish you got on. And you can see a lot of these have gotten here close. And when they get like that, I just make a real short cast, and usually I can get another one. You see them coming right back over them. Here they come again. Here they come. Ah, had one to bullet right there. Didn't get it. Look at all them bass out there though. Here they come. Got it. Well guys, hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did today. Catch them on the 3DB weight prop. This is the 105. It's the one that's done most of our damage today. That's a solid 2-pounder, boy. I'll tell you, this time of year, these fish love to get out on the end of these points and suspend around vertical cover, whether it be brush, grass, anything of that nature. And they get on these points that run out real far off the banks, got deep water close by, a lot of bait get around the ends and the edges of these points, and these fish just sit out here and wait to ambush those schools of shad. And I'll tell you what, this is one of the best times of year to be on the lake fishing. Hope you guys enjoyed it, bringing it back to the lake that I grew up on, learning how to fish, cut my teeth here. It's been special to bring you guys along for the ride today, and we'll be seeing y'all soon.
Be sure to like and subscribe, because we're going to be bringing content to you on a weekly basis for both fresh and saltwater to show you the quality of our products, how to use them, and how to make yourself a better fisherman by picking up Yo-Zuri line and lures. Go and pick them up, like and subscribe, fish the best, fish Yo-Zuri.